Hello there, Kim Jakes here, midlife health and lifestyle coach. And I'm very excited to be able to invite you to this meaningful conversation around midlife and reclaiming the power that exists in this period of time. Because let's be real, if this is midlife, that means it's a midpoint. It's a crossroads. It's an opportunity to plan, do review, and to really choose with some wisdom and experience under our belt what we want the next part of our life to look like. I love hosting conversations around stepping beyond the midlife crisis and stepping into the midlife creation of your best life. So the question is, how do you do that if what you're doing right now is trying to navigate the symptoms of menopause? So that's why I'm creating this playlist video series called The Girlfriend's Guide to Menopause, taking apart some of these symptoms and conversations that really need to be had so that either we can preventatively look ahead and say, well, gosh, I don't have that symptom yet, but there's some things that I can do now, so perhaps I might not ever need to have it. Or whether you are in the midst of it saying, how do I reclaim my energy and my focus so that I can really step into the urgency of the vision of what I would like my life to look like? So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about one such symptom, and that is the symptom of midlife brain fog. So I have written an article called 5 Tips for Overcoming Midlife Brain Fog. You'll actually see the full article in the description of this video down below. And inside that article, I've provided hyperlinks to lots of different studies and tools and information to be able to help you overcome midlife brain fog in a way that's very meaningful. So what is brain fog? How do you know you're even experiencing it? And why didn't anybody tell you that that was a possibility to be experiencing in midlife? Well, let me tell you. Midlife brain fog occurs in about 60% of women. Now, women have been talking about brain-like symptoms probably for generations. Science has just recently caught up with it, though. They have confirmed that our feeling that things were a little askew in our brain is validated now by science. And so it's important to know that you're not going crazy, that it is real. It's also important to know that just because you're feeling as if your brain is slipping up a little bit, maybe a little more forgetful, maybe less focused, a little more scatterbrained, maybe just a little more tired, fatigued, not as much mental stamina, that it's not forever. Now, not forever. I wish I could say that means it's going to go away in a week or two, or even a month or two. It can take years, and that's why it's really important to have this conversation, because if you have an urgency inside yourself wanting to do something in life, right, whether it is travel or career or creativity and hobbies, if you have these urges, but the glass ceiling on your energy levels and your mental capacity is really hard for you to burst through, then gosh, it's really all about postponing your inner urges. And honestly, I feel like this world really deserves you at your best as much as possible. So there are some health hacks for brain fog, both preventatively as well as in the midst of it, okay? Now, I am going to call something onto the carpet here, and that is, it is normal and natural if it's easier for you to put something on your to-do list and prioritize it for others rather than it is to prioritize it if it's for yourself. If that is the case, that is absolutely normal. Many individuals are hardwired emotionally to prioritize others over themselves. It's tribal, and there's nothing wrong with that, okay? Why I'm highlighting that is because I want to be able to just leverage that normal tendency and put these concepts of self-care not being done for you, but being done for your brain. If you can imagine that your brain is kind of like a cute pet, right? Like a cute little dog, or something that a plant, whatever it is that you like to care for. Think about your brain as something other than yourself. And as you put these to-do items to care for your brain, really think of it as caring for something that is beyond yourself. I know that it's crazy, but it works. All right. So that would be number one. Number two, important to not underestimate the little things. Now, in this article, I'm going to be highlighting small, simple lifestyle hacks that can be integrated into your lifestyle really simply. And just because something is simple does not mean that it is not powerful. Inside, I talk about brain-rich foods. I talk about the power of hydration, the power of reducing stress. Oh, wait a minute, that sounds like a really hard one to do. Stress is so inevitable, right? That's what we talk about. But there are really simple things that you can do. Even I put a YouTube video that you can click on to a link, and it's some relaxing music that is specific frequencies to help serotonin kick into your brain. You put it right on in the background while you're doing your work, right? So it's little things like that that can make a big difference. We talk about movement. Now, there's a big difference between movement and exercise. In American society, exercise happens at a gym. You do it for about an hour and you sweat yourself, get a good hearty workout in. That's not what I'm actually talking about. What I'm actually talking about when I talk about movement is slow, steady movement done throughout multiple bursts throughout the day. So it's simple things like, the typical going up the stairs instead of taking the escalator. But I also have a link inside the article that links to body weight activities that you can fit in throughout the course of the day, even some of them if you're at the office, all right? So that's inside the article. And also I talk about a new innovation. I think it's really important to look at the new science and see what innovations are out there. I always highlight natural innovations, not chemical or pharmaceutical innovations, although they exist as well. There's always a consequence to chemical and pharmaceutical innovations. 100% of the time, there is a warning insert inside that box. And so that's why I always steer clear and support you with natural innovations. So there's a natural innovation called a nootropic. Now, I'll let you know, nootropics are both chemical, pharmaceutical, and natural. There's all kinds of different products out there. Now, what a nootropic is by definition a compound that helps to flip on switches inside your brain. It's a peak performance enhancing tool. Now, the one that I recommend is all natural. It's things like B vitamins and quercetin and L-theanine and Monterey pine bark. This is a beautiful blend of natural supportive ingredients that does things like reduces inflammation in your brain and increases neurotransmitter function, increases circulation. So it's partnering with the biology of your brain to help you feel your best. Not only do you have more mental focus and clarity, but you also feel calmer, which is a wonderful state to be able to feel like in the midst of the day. It's also a long-standing experience, and it's what I like to call more of a zenergy experience rather than an energy that you might get from an energy drink or a coffee where adrenaline is kicking in. Our midlife body does not like an adrenaline boost. It actually sabotages some of our hormones, and it's not the best way to be able to find the get up and go or the focus that we might need in order to be able to move our life forward, okay, in a sustainable and meaningful way. So those are some of the tips inside the article. I do definitely recommend that you click in the description below to be able to find that article. And also, if you like these tips, go ahead and hit the subscribe button right below this video. And if you are interested in being able to help some of your other girlfriends out during this time of midlife, then share this video and invite them to check it out so that they can go through the Girlfriend Guide to Menopause playlist as well. And then also just let's connect. I love making connections with other midlife women who are on a journey. And if you'd like to join my Facebook group called Midlife Designed, it's a free Facebook group where you can be part of the conversation around elevating one another so that we can live our best lives starting today. Thanks so much, and stay tuned for the next video in this series.